Hello everyone. This is a Darkest Dungeon 2 skills guide for your first 4 heroes because A, I don't want to lose this run I'm on, and B, it's most helpful to learn about the 4 heroes that you're going to start with. So you start with 5 skills with each hero, and then you unlock certain ones through the hero's journey events. And so I will talk about like what ones I think you should try and prioritize and which goes you should try and upgrade priority. So let's just get right into that. So we'll start with the Plague Doctor. Whoopsies. We'll start with
Listen.
the Man-at-Arms.
Improve.
Thank you, Wayne. So you get certain mastery points, and then you can spend 1 mastery point to upgrade each skill. So these are the first 5 you unlock, you start with, and then the first one you can unlock is Bellow. So Bellow I think is a good skill, but let's start over here. Crush. This is your standard attack. It has mediocre damage, but it can hit row of 3, which is actually pretty useful for the way I've been playing this comp. So I do like this skill. And then it upgrades, it gets more damage, and it adds a block, which is minus 50% damage, when the target is wombo comboed. So this is pretty good. Like, this is a good, useful skill upgrade. Like, I think it's probably like a B tier upgrade, but it's not one of the first things you should do unless you're just swimming in mastery points. So Rampart is also pretty okay. And when you don't have Bellow unlocked, I think Rampart is a better skill. It is the forward one. It doesn't actually stun until you upgrade it, and it only stuns when the target is wombo comboed. So that's useful, but I think the better version of Rampart is actually Hold the Line, because you can use it in more positions. You can't actually use it in position 1, but that's okay, because I feel like a lot of the time I'm using this for the, I would use this for the positioning, and you get a block out of it. When you upgrade it, you get more blocks, and you also get the stun on the wombo combo. And I think that's more useful for stuff like if you're ambushed and out of position, or if you have a you have a guy riposting, and he needs to move forward, or you have like a lunge and you're trying to do like a movement comp. Hold the Line is a better skill for that, and having the Man-at-Arms be a damage soaker is better in this way. Speaking of damage soaking, we have Defender. This is, of course, his guard ability. This is a really good upgrade if you like the guard. I mean, I like the guard, but if you really like the guard, I think this is probably a strong upgrade for you. Because you go from regular block to ultra block, so you do better, and you get more, you don't get more of them, sorry, but you get more guard time, which is useful. So I probably wouldn't upgrade this first, but I probably wouldn't upgrade much of the Man-at-Arms first. I think the other people he's good on his own, whereas other people might need a little bit of improvement, and he can hold off for a while. And same with Bolster. Bolster is probably the first thing I would upgrade for the stress removal. You can get 2 stress healers with him and the Plague Doctor. The Plague Doctor, I think, is a better stress remover. He does go from regular block to ultra block, and removing Vulnerable and Horror are both nice things. So this is a really good buff. Bellow is great if you do Cultist encounters, because the Cultist, hell if I know what they're called, the big ones in the front with the 2 swords, they love to give themselves crit, and they have mediocre speed, so if you can remove that, and you can remove the speed on the Cherubs, then that will be helpful. And then there's the Knight in the Tangle that loves to give himself riposte, and he's a giant HP soak. So removing this is really good. So this is a great upgrade. So the first things I would upgrade would probably be Bellow. Now I'd probably be like Bolster or Defender, depending on which one I want. Then Bellow, then probably Crush, just so he has some good damage. I don't really have a lot of wombo combo in my beginning party. Like, I'm sure there's other heroes when you get later in the game that have wombo, but since you don't have that and you're starting, I don't think upgrading Hold the Line or Rampart are very good, because their upgrades only really come into effect when you have the wombo. So let's go to the Grave Robber. Pick to the Face is your standard damage ability. Ignores block, which is good. And a lot of her abilities get better when you have Wombo Combo, which is kind of a problem when you don't have a lot of Wombo Combo. So, the upgrade to that does add higher to your damage range, and adds higher crit. This is good. I wouldn't upgrade this first. Like, I wouldn't even consider that. I don't think that's very good. Thrown Dagger is better. It ignores, when you have stealth, which is something you can do, you can ignore some dodge. But again, I don't think this is worth, using. If you have the crit build, there's a trinket for the Grave Robber that on crit you have a 25% chance of extra action. If you're trying to crit farm, you could do that. But her other abilities coming down the line are going to be better for upgrading. Flashing Daggers, I think, is actually a good ability. I do like Flashing Daggers. In Darkest Dungeon 1, this is a shit ability. But in the new token system for combat means I think this is really good. Because what it does is it removes weakened tokens because you're using an attack. But 50% damage of 2 to 3 is like 1 damage. So you're not actually losing out on any damage. And 2, you can burn multiple dodge tokens on different enemies. I'm thinking especially with her high speed, she can go first in cultist encounters and burn 2 dodge tokens on the first cherub and the second of the big ones. And that way our team can follow up with some actual hits. So this is a useful ability, but what I said is that it's good for burning dodge tokens and getting rid of weakened tokens. So upping the damage is useless, and upping the crit is also useless. So I wouldn't upgrade this. Poison Darts is trash. I just haven't even used this like ever. It just doesn't do the damage that I want it to. Like if I want to hit row 1, I would just use Pick to the Face. If I wanted to hit row 4, I would just use Thrown Dagger. Like there's no way I would ever want to use this ability. It's probably good at some point, but it's not even good for crit farming. This is just a bad ability. I wouldn't use it. Absinthe is fantastic. You heal if you're at under 1/4% of HP. You heal. You gain dodge. If you upgrade it, you get ultra dodge, which is 75%, and you get speed. So you can kind of do this. I've actually done it so where if you're like 1v1ing a monster, the Grave Robber has 2v1'd some monsters before, where she just absinthes literally every turn. And if they keep winning the RNG, if they lose the RNG and don't hit her, she keeps those dodge tokens for next time and then smacks. If they do hit her, then she just absinthes again up to HP because they can't quite kill her. And then with her speed, she'll always go first. And then she'll just keep doing that until she wins. So she has done like 80 damage solo just by spamming Absinthe over and over again. So this is a fantastic ability. Similar is Dead of Night, where she does this all the time, and then when she finally kills somebody, she does this. Gains heal on killing a corpse, which is incredibly useful. And then when you upgrade that, you get minus stress and more heal. So this is another fantastic ability. These are both amazing. And I think it leads into a Grave Robber dodge tank build that I'm very interested in trying to play up. Which also comes with this. Requires self-dodge. So after you do this, Dead of Night, where you heal yourself, remove a stress, you can get ultra dodge. I would probably only use this when you upgrade it. You get 3 ultra dodges and 2 taunts, which means enemies have to target you, but you have ultra dodge. And you've just healed for half your maximum HP. So upgrade her max HP with some trinkets, and that'll be great. Lunge is a good ability. Damn noise outside. Lunge is a great ability, where you upgrade the maximum damage, you upgrade the crit, and then you can ignore block and dodge when you're stealth. So remember, both of those would require Dead of Night. So, or other quirks or whatever. But this is a good ability. I think it's also good for like if you have a comp. There's probably some good comps for this. I haven't used it yet, but I definitely would get this unlocked. So I would unlock this immediately. One of your first things you should do is unlock this. And I think you could unlock Grave Robber early and go ahead with that, and that's not something to be worried about. And of course, unlocking Bellow is good too. I don't know if I mentioned that. Highwayman. His first thing is really fun. So he unlocks Point Blank Shot, and that is I think, worth getting, but I wouldn't get it first. I would probably do Grave Robber first. You start with Wicked Slice, which is your good death blow resist attack, which is kind of useful when you have like some shitter ghoul in the like a 5-turn round hallway fight. So upgrading its damage and upgrading its death blow resist is objectively good. This is a good thing to do. One of the first upgrades I would get. Pistol Shot. I don't really use Pistol Shot actually. I find that it's hard for, as much as I want to target row 4, as you should in like Darkest Dungeon 1, I just don't do it that often because I don't have row 4 damage. Because you have Pistol Shot, which is fucking awful damage. You have Thrown Dagger, which has awful damage. I guess you have Poison Darts. Like, that's about it. The Man-at-Arms can't hit row 4. And then the Plague Doctor can't hit row 4. Because she, not with the damaging ability at the start anyway. So I don't really give a fuck about doing this. And when I could row 3 hit Duelist's Advance or row 2 hit Wicked Slice, I don't find that I use this. And then having Riposte when target is womboed is good. But again, I don't have that much wombo, so I wouldn't upgrade this like ever. Like, there have been runs where I just don't even use Pistol Shot, like more than maybe twice. Duelist Advance is an amazing ability. Probably the first thing I would upgrade. More, because you use it all the time, so more damage and more crit is good. You get extra Riposte, and you get a dodge token. This is fantastic. And then when battles start taking longer, because you're not wiping the floor with enemies, you get more opportunities for Riposte. So I would upgrade this immediately. Probably not the first for your whole party, maybe like second or third for the whole party, but the first thing on the Highwayman for sure. Tracking Shot is trash on first level. If target has dodge, ignores dodge. That's just a worse flashing daggers, but it can hit row 4. But like we said, we don't care about row 4 damage. Upgrading it removes stealth and dodge, which is good. And it does give Wombo Combo, so that's useful. If you want to start playing with Wombos, then go ahead. But I don't think that this is worth upgrading right at the start. Maybe if you have a Wombo party, then do that. Take Aim is fine. It gets way better on upgrade. Like, if you're going last or something, like if your turn is not going to prevent an action, like getting a kill prevents an action, if you're not doing that, sure, because you'll probably go first and then just get a crit. So this is useful, but I think it's situational. Like, and removing the blindness is certainly helpful. So I would keep this on my bar, but I wouldn't necessarily use it all the time. And Point Blank Shot is quite a good upgrade, actually, because it's kind of ass at the first level. 6 to 12 isn't that much higher than an upgraded Wicked Slice, but upgrading 10 to 13, that's big boy numbers. So if you like the Duelist Advance Point Blank Shot, that's pretty good. I think I would probably upgrade Wicked Slice first, just because I'm honest. Sometimes like I'll Duelist Advance and then I'll just Wicked Slice a lot, or I want to stay in range to do Pistol Shot for row 3 damage. Because if you're in row 1, you don't have row 3 damage because Wicked Slice used to hit row 3, but it doesn't anymore. So this isn't as good of a skill as it was, only because your other skills aren't as versatile. So you don't want to really lock yourself in position 1. And position 1 isn't always a useful target to hit. And the Plague Doctor, I haven't done any more skills with her, but that's okay. I don't, I think she's kind of fine where she is. So the first thing, I was going to get out of the right way, first thing you want to upgrade, I think, on the whole party is Ounce of Prevention. Because what it does is it goes down from cooldown 3 and buffs resistances to cooldown 2, and everybody loses a single stress. Watch the video that I put out on your first route with this very party right here. And that made me have amazing relations. By stress healing, let's just look at that. These are my relations. We have a respectful, 2 of those, 3 of those, 2, and then like this. And the game actually resets itself, I've learned. So I have all these in items that I'm going to do for improving affinity. So I'm going to walk out of this with basically golden relations on everybody. And that's by keeping stress low. When you don't do this, your stress goes to shit. And it's really bad. So this is an amazing ability. Probably the best ability in the game. They're probably going to nerf it, or they're going to have to make you have other abilities. Get this immediately. Plague Doctor is also good because she's the only fucking healer we have. So Battlefield Med is an amazing ability, just by de facto. Or I guess by default, but it is de facto the only healing ability you have. So upgrading it, I don't know is that much more useful. Like, you get a little bit extra healing. It probably translates to 1 to 2 extra healing. But if you're just trying to yo-yo off Death's Door, I don't know how useful that's going to be. And I don't think this is useful compared to upgrading other really good abilities that we've already talked about. Incision is trash because of these 4 heroes, like Man-at-Arms is in 1, then you have Grave Robber and Highwayman in 2 and 3. So I find that I never get to use Incision, which is fine. I don't want to be in a position where she's stuck in row 3. So upgrading it is good, but not like actually that going to be that prevalent. Blinding Gas is probably a good upgrade because there's a 33% chance to give Wombo. So you Daze and Blind and 33% Wombo. Issue with it is it's on cooldown. And I feel like I would want a single. Sometimes I want a single target. Sometimes I want row 1 and 2 because I can get more damage out that way. Because their only damaging ability hits 1 and 2 with Noxious Blast. So it's hard. It's good for like turn 1, and then once you hit turn 3, you probably want to like Ounce of Prevention or Battlefield Med. I feel like I don't use this as much as I did in DD1 when it would double stun people. So I'm sure when it upgrades, it probably has like stun when womboed or something like that. But I don't know. I don't think it's that worth it right now. Noxious Blast is pretty... it exists. Its damage is obviously bad. The Blight is okay. Upgrading it gives you slightly more damage. It gives you more Blight, which is useful. And then you ignore Blight resistance when the target is womboed. But the issue is, the only 2 skills that have given Wombo, I think, well, there's this, which only wombos 3 and 4. So you won't get Wombo from this. The Highwayman gives Wombo on Tracking Shot. So like, what's your Wombo combo? Tracking Shot, Noxious Blast. Like, that's shit. What the fuck? I think there's a Man-at-Arms one that gives. Does he not give Wombo? I thought he did. No, I guess he doesn't. So no, we don't really give Wombo out, which means this is kind of bad. Same with Incision, but Incision just sucks anyway, so it doesn't make a difference. This, yeah, is just like not that good. So I would upgrade Ounce of Prevention, and then she's fine anyway. So this is a good party comp, honestly. Like, you could win with this party comp, and it works out pretty well. The next hero you're going to unlock is the Hellion, who has Iron Swan back from the first game, so she has row 4 damage from position 1, which is useful. And she has other nice attacks. But we'll talk about her and the Runaway when one of these heroes dies, and I can actually get in game and talk about it, because you can't have multiple profile saves, which is quite annoying. But in any case, if you found this useful, I'm glad. I'm trying to... It's a new game, it's early access, so of course this stuff's going to change. But as people get into it, you know, it's good to know what you're getting into. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Good luck out there. Peace out.